Imagine this, a single dad raising 3 triplets on his own. 3 children who weren't just ordinary kids, but geniuses in their own way. One painted like a master, one could solve puzzles and equations faster than most adults, and the youngest had a gift for empathy so strong it could melt even the coldest heart. Their father worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table, often coming home exhausted, but his love for them never wavered. Every night, despite his fatigue, he'd whisper to them, "You're my miracle. You're my future. Never forget it." Now, on the other side of town was a CEO. A woman with wealth, power, and respect, but also with pain. A tragic accident had left her partially disabled, forcing her to use a cane and at times a wheelchair. She built walls around herself, convinced that no one could love her anymore, and poured her entire being into her business. People admired her strength, but behind closed doors, loneliness gnawed at her. Fate brought them together in the most unexpected way. The triplets had been selected for a scholarship program run by her company. On the very first day, the children noticed how she struggled, how even though she smiled for her employees, her eyes carried a sadness no one else seemed to see. While everyone else treated her like a figure of power, the triplets treated her like a person. One child offered to carry her files, another fixed her malfunctioning elevator using his quick thinking, and the youngest sat beside her quietly and whispered, "It's okay if it hurts. We can help." Day after day, they did small things that touched her deeply. She began opening up, letting them into her world, laughing for the first time in years. What she didn't know was that these kids were slowly piecing her broken spirit back together. They didn't see her disability, they saw the woman she was beneath it all. But the most shocking moment came when she accidentally saw their birth certificates during a company event. Same hospital, same date, details she couldn't ignore. Her hands trembled. She dug deeper, and the truth hit her like a storm. Years ago, when she was young and pressured by family, she had been forced to give up a child she never stopped thinking about. The child she thought she had lost forever wasn't just one, it was 3. These were her triplets. She broke down in tears, unable to hold back the flood of emotions. She confessed everything to the single dad, expecting anger, blame, or rejection. Instead, he stood silently for a long moment, then said, "They don't know pain because I never let them feel abandoned. But maybe it's time they know the truth, and maybe it's time you stop punishing yourself for the past." The children, hearing the story, hugged her without hesitation. "You're our mom," they said simply, as though it was the most natural thing in the world. From that day, everything began to change. The CEO slowly regained strength, both emotionally and physically, as the children inspired her to try therapy again. She learned to walk longer distances, found herself laughing more, even attending their school plays. She began to discover what it truly meant to be a mother, and what it meant to love. And as for the single dad, something he never expected happened. Through late-night conversations, shared parenting struggles, and quiet moments when their hands brushed as they both reached for the same book or plate, he found himself falling for her. But he didn't say a word. He believed she deserved someone better than a tired man with second-hand clothes and bills stacked on the counter. Until one evening, after the kids had gone to bed, she looked him in the eyes and whispered, "You saved my children when I couldn't. You saved me without even knowing. Don't you see? You were always the missing piece." Tears welled in his eyes. For the first time, he let himself believe that he deserved love, too. Their story became one not of loss, but of healing, forgiveness, and second chances. The genius triplets had not only healed their mother but had given their father the gift of true love. And together, they built a home filled with laughter, learning, and a bond stronger than anything money or power could ever buy. And if you're watching this right now, let this story remind you, love has a way of finding its path, no matter how broken the journey may seem. If you believe in second chances, in family, and in love that heals, don't forget to hit that like button, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more inspiring stories that just might change the way you see the world.